Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Friday. We got 15 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. And yeah, we'll hop in it here. Busy slate today, starting with the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers opening up as road favorites at -180. The Reds plus 155 with the over-under at 10. Brewers coming into this matchup 29-27. The Reds 26-30. Pitching for the Brewers is Corbin Burnes with an ERA of 3.68. Pitching for the Reds is Brandon Williamson with an ERA of 5.02. Burnes, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 8 strikeouts. Williamson, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 3 strikeouts. The Brewers coming off a Toronto loss. The Reds coming off a Boston loss. They've been playing very well. They're 5-1 in their last 6. Brewers really haven't looked that great. 4-6 in their last 10. 4-11 on the road. Burnes really has not been good on the mound this season. Kind of in a struggle for Corbin on the mound here, and I think I'm going to take a shot with the Reds plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the Oakland Athletics versus the Miami Marlins. Miami opening up as home favorites at -200. Oakland plus 170 with the over-under at 8.5. Oakland coming into this matchup 12-46. Miami 29-28. Pitching for Oakland is Shintaro Fujinami with an ERA of 12. Pitching for the Marlins is Edward Cabrera with an ERA of 5.02. Fujinami, his last start, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 8 runs, had 2 strikeouts. Cabrera, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Oakland coming off a Braves loss. They were able to steal 2 wins in that Braves series, but 2 of their first wins in a while. Miami coming off a very bad Padres game yesterday, but Oakland 0-11 on the road right now. 1-4 straight up against Miami. And yeah, Fujinami has been very bad on the mound for Oakland this season. And I think I'm going to roll with the Marlins at home. Next matchup, we got the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Washington Nationals. Phillies opening up as road favorites at -180. Washington plus 150 with the over-under at 9. Phillies coming into this matchup 25-31. The Nationals 24-32. Pitching for the Phillies is Zach Wheeler with an ERA of 3.60. Pitching for the Nationals is Josiah Gray with an ERA of 2.77. Wheeler, his last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 12 strikeouts. Gray, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. The Phillies on a little 4-game losing streak right now, coming off a bad Mets series. Washington coming off an LA win. The Phillies are 11-1 against Washington, 14-2 on the road against Washington, where they've been very good here. I'd say it's a pretty even pitching matchup, but the Phillies have had just a lot of success against the Nationals here, and I'm going to roll with the Phillies on the road. Next matchup, we got the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals opening up as road favorites at -135. Pittsburgh plus 115 with the over-under at 9.5. Cardinals coming into this matchup 25-32. The Pirates 28-27. Pitching for the Cardinals is Jack Flaherty with an ERA of 4.81. Pitching for the Pirates is Roansy Contreras with the ERA of 4.33. Flaherty, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 4 strikeouts. Contreras, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Cardinals coming off a Kansas City win. Pitt on a little 2-game winning streak, coming off some Giants wins. St. Louis 15-5 on the road against Pitt. They've been very good against Pitt here. 13-7 straight up against Pitt. Both teams are playing pretty much the same here. I'd say it's a pretty even pitching matchup. And I know St. Louis has been good against the Pirates here, but I still think Pirates are a good underdog at home. And I'll take a shot with the Pirates plus 1.5. Next matchup, we got the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Boston Red Sox. Rays opening up as road favorites at minus 140. Boston plus 115 with the over-under at 9. Rays coming into this matchup 40-18. The Red Sox 29-27. Pitching for the Rays is Tyler Glasnow with an ERA of 6.23. Pitching for the Red Sox is Garrett Whitlock with an ERA of 5.14. Glasnow, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Whitlock, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 4 strikeouts. Tampa coming off a Cubs win. Boston coming off a Cincinnati win. Tampa is 4-1 straight up against Boston here. Glasnow has only pitched once this season, so not too much to work off with. Didn't look too bad in his start. I'm still rolling with the Rays here. I mean, for me, it's hard to bet against the Rays, and taking the Rays all season. Been very profitable so far, and we're gonna roll with the Rays on the road. Next matchup, we got the Toronto Blue Jays versus the New York Mets. Mets opening up as home favorites at minus 135. Toronto plus 115 with the over-under at 8.5. Toronto coming into this matchup 30-27. The Mets also 30-27. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Chris Bassett with an ERA of 3.80. Pitching for the Mets is Justin Verlander with an ERA of 4.80. Bassett, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 7 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Verlander, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 2 strikeouts. Both pitchers coming off rough games here. But Bassett, been good in his last 2 games, only allowed 2 runs. Verlander, he's given up 13 runs in his last 3 starts here. Toronto coming off a nice Milwaukee series. The Mets coming off 3 straight wins against Philly. And Toronto, they've struggled against the Mets on the road here. Mets currently 8-0 at home. They're playing very good baseball, playing good at home. But Verlander really has not been good this year. He's had a lot of rough games on the mound. And I think this one can really go either way. I think the over is probably a good play with both pitchers giving up some runs in their last game. I still think I'm going to take a shot with Toronto plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Seattle Mariners versus the Texas Rangers. Seattle opening up as road favorites at minus 115. The Rangers minus 105 with the over-under at 8. Seattle coming into this matchup 29-27. The Rangers 35-20. Pitching for Seattle was Luis Castillo with an ERA of 2.69. Pitching for the Rangers is John Gray with an ERA of 2.81. Castillo, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 10 strikeouts. He's coming off back-to-back 0-run games. Gray, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 8 strikeouts. Gray's been very good too. He's only given up 2 runs in his last 3 starts. 2 good pitchers on the mound here. Seattle coming off a Yankees win. Rangers coming off a Detroit loss. Seattle's been good against Texas. They're 12-5 straight up against Texas here. With 2 good pitchers on the mound here. I still think Rangers are a good underdog at home. And I'll take a shot with the Rangers plus 1.5 in this one. Next matchup, we've got the Cleveland Guardians versus the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota opening up as home favorites at minus 135. Cleveland plus 115 with the over-under at 8.5. Cleveland coming into this matchup 25-31. Minnesota 30-27. Pitching for the Guardians is Aaron Savale with an ERA of 2.84. Pitching for the Twins is Bailey Ober with an ERA of 2.68. Savale, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Ober, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 7 strikeouts. We got Cleveland coming off a Minnesota loss in the last game, 7-6. Definitely a close one there. Minnesota on a 2-game winning streak. Cleveland is just 3-9 on the road. Haven't really been the best on the road here. Pretty even pitching matchup. I kind of like the Twins at home in this one, and I think I'll roll with Minnesota at home. Next matchup, we got the Colorado Rockies versus the Kansas City Royals. Royals opening up as home favorites at -120. Colorado +100 with the over-under at 9.5. Colorado coming into this matchup 24-34. The Royals 17-39. Pitching for the Rockies is Chase Anderson with an ERA of 1.31. Pitching for the Royals is Jordan Lyles with an ERA of 7.01. Anderson, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 4 strikeouts. He's been very good on the mound for the Rockies. Lyles, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 2 strikeouts. I mean, he's given up 15, 16 runs in his last 3 starts. It's been rough for Jordan Lyles. He's 0-9 on the mound. Rockies on a little 4-game losing streak. Royals coming off a St. Louis loss. Yeah, I like Anderson on the road here, or on the mound. Lyles has not been good on the mound for the Royals, and I'm going to take the Rockies +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we've got the Los Angeles Angels versus the Houston Astros. Astros opening up as home favorites at -130. The Angels +115 with the over-under at 7.5. Angels coming into this matchup 30-28. The Astros 33-23. Pitching for the Angels is Shohei Ohtani with an ERA of 2.91. Pitching for the Astros is Framber Valdez with an ERA of 2.38. Ohtani, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 10 strikeouts. Valdez, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. LA losing to Houston yesterday 5-2. Nice win for Houston. You know, LA 1-6 on the road against Houston, 1-4 straight up against Houston. They've really struggled against the Astros here. Ohtani coming off 2 good starts on the mound, only giving up 1 run in each game. Valdez playing really good, only giving up 1 in his last 2. Even with Ohtani on the mound, I'm just not in love with the Angels. I'm really not here. I still like the Astros at home, where the Angels have struggled on the road, and I'm going to roll with the Astros at home. Next matchup, we got the Atlanta Braves versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Braves opening up as road favorites at -125. Arizona +105 with the over-under at 9.5. Braves coming into this matchup 33-23. Arizona 34-23. Pitching for the Braves is Charlie Morton with an ERA of 3.59. Pitching for Arizona is Merrill Kelly with an ERA of 3.11. The Braves, Morton, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Kelly, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 10 strikeouts. Braves coming off a nice Oakland win. They kind of struggled in that series, giving up some losses to Oakland. Arizona, they're playing well right now. They're on a 5-game winning streak. I mean, they swept in that 4-game series against the Rockies. So, I mean, they're playing well right now. Atlanta 7-3 on the road against Arizona. 4-1 straight up against Arizona. They've been very good against the Diamondbacks here. I'd say it's a pretty even pitching matchup. And I really like the D-backs today. They're playing good. They're hot right now. Got a nice win streak. Braves really did struggle against Oakland in that series. They really couldn't hit, honestly, in those 3 games here. And I think I would take a shot with the Diamondbacks +1.5 at home. Next matchup, we've got the Chicago Cubs versus the San Diego Padres. Padres opening up as home favorites at -165. Chicago plus 145 with the over-under at 8.5. Cubs coming into this matchup 24-31. The Padres 26-30. Pitching for the Cubs is Jameson Taillon with an ERA of 7.76. Pitching for the Padres is Michael Wacha with an ERA of 3.45. Taillon, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. He's given up 14 runs in his last 3 starts. Wacha, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. He's only given up 2 runs in his last 3 starts. He's been very good on the mound. Cubs coming off a Tampa Bay loss. Padres coming off a big Miami win yesterday. The Cubs are just 2-5 against the Padres, so haven't really been good head-to-head here. Yeah, do not like Taillon on the mound. He's been very bad for the Cubs, and I'm going to roll with the Padres at home. Next matchup, we got the New York Yankees versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers opening up as home favorites at minus 135. The Yankees plus 125 with the over-under at 8. Yankees coming into this matchup 34-24. The Dodgers 34-23. Pitching for the Yankees is Luis Severino with an ERA of 1.59. Pitching for the Dodgers is Clayton Kershaw with an ERA of 3.32. Severino, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. He's only pitched twice this season, only allowed 1 run in each game. Kershaw, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 6 strikeouts. He's coming off back-to-back 4-run games. Yankees coming off a Seattle loss. Dodgers coming off a Washington loss. The Yankees 6-1 on the road, getting it done on the road here. I think they're a good underdog today. Severino's been good on the mound, and I'm going to take the Yankees plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Baltimore Orioles versus the San Francisco Giants. Giants opening up as home favorites at minus 145. The Orioles plus 130 with the over-under at 8. Orioles coming into this matchup 35-21. The Giants 28-28. Pitching for the Orioles is Dean Kramer with an ERA of 4.58. Pitching for the Giants is Logan Webb with an ERA of 3.12. Kramer, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Webb, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 11 strikeouts. Webb's been very good on the mound. He's only given up 2 runs in his last 3 starts. Baltimore coming off a Cleveland loss. Giants coming off back-to-back Pirate losses, tough losses there. Baltimore is 4-2 on the road against the Giants, so they've been very good against the Giants. 5-1 on the road here. Kramer hasn't been the best. He's been pretty mid-tier, nothing crazy. Yeah, I think Orioles are a good underdog today, and I'm going to take Baltimore plus 1.5 on the road. And then the last matchup, we got the Detroit Tigers versus the Chicago White Sox. White Sox opening up as home favorites at minus 155 with the over-under at 8.5. Not a lot of info given on this game here. Detroit is 26-28. The White Sox 23-35. The only info we have is that pitching for the Tigers is Reese Olson with an ERA of 0. And looks like he's making his first start. And then Detroit, or then on the White Sox side, the pitching is TBA. So we do not know who's pitching. A new pitcher for Detroit. So not a lot to go off here in this matchup. Detroit coming off a Rangers win. White Sox coming off an LA loss. Not the best matchup on the board here. Detroit is 6-1 against the White Sox, so they've been very good against Chicago here. White Sox 6-3 at home. They play good at home, but 2 new pitchers. We don't know who's pitching for the White Sox, and a new pitcher for the Tigers. I mean, this is a tough one here. If I had to choose, I'd probably take a shot with the Tigers plus 1.5. Just a lot of uncertainty on this matchup. My advice, probably just stay away from this one here. We're just way better matchups on the board. Don't really see any reason to be betting on Detroit and the White Sox with the pitching scenarios here. I'd stay away, but maybe Detroit plus 1.5 would be the play in a game like this. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Friday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a good one.